Good morning, and good morning. We are the group Light Green. With me, it's leader Micah Fede Gonzalez.
And I'm A.AdorDionision.
And I'm A.Tarucan.
And I am M.Gonzalez I.Centeno, and let's start our discussion with geothermal energy. So geothermal power plant or geothermal energy, by definition, geothermal power plants are used in order to generate electricity by the use of geothermal energy, the Earth's internal thermal energy. They essentially work the same as a coal, solar, thermal, or nuclear power plant, and the main difference being the heat source. So by definition, geothermal energy is a type of renewable energy taken from the Earth's core. Example would be lava flows, fumaroles, and hot springs. And geothermal power is electrical power generated by geothermal energy. And technologies in use include dry steam power stations, flash steam power, and binary cycle power stations. So by principles, there is a natural source of power found below the surface of the Earth that's been around for centuries. So underground, far below us, there are pools of water make up our geothermal reservoirs, harnessing the power of the Earth's temperatures to power, heat, or cool our homes and businesses is the essence of geothermal power. So yung geothermal power is na poproduce siya underneath or underground nanggagaling yung energy niya. So this is a chart showing ranking of largest geothermal plants worldwide as of January 2021. So number one nga dito is yung the geysers from United States. And makikita rin natin sa chart na to is nandito rin yung Philippines, which nag-hold ng pang number 4 sa chart. Ito ay ang Macban geothermal power plant. So katulad din to nung naunang chart. So ito yung Macban Geothermal Power Plant. So Macban Geothermal Power Plant Complex is located on the border between Laguna and Batangas provinces. And ito yung pang-apat na pinakamalaking facility in the world na may capacity na 458 megawatts. And nagsama ito naman yung the Geysers Geothermal Power Plant. Ito yung largest geothermal power plant in the world na matatagpuan siya sa California sa United States. So, dito naman tayo sa ideal location ng mga geothermal power plant. The most active geothermal resources are usually found along major tectonic plate boundaries where most volcanoes are located. One of the most active geothermal areas in the world is called the Ring of Fire, which encircles the Pacific Ocean. When the magma comes near the Earth's surface, it heats groundwater trapped in porous rock or water running on fractured rock surfaces and faults. Hydrothermal features have two common ingredients, water, which is hydro, and heat, which is thermal. And geologists use various methods to find geothermal reservoirs. Drilling a well and testing the temperature deep underground is the most reliable method for locating a geothermal reservoir. These reservoirs are deep underground and are largely undetectable above ground. Geothermal energy finds its way to the Earth's surface in three ways. So, the best na location for geothermal power plants ay yung matatagpuan near the tectonic plates kung saan makita ang mga active na volcanoes. And ang isa sa mga active na geothermal areas ay tinatawag na Ring of Fire na makikita nga po sa may Pacific Ocean. And may iba't ibang ways para makahanap ng geothermal area or reservoirs. Una dito is yung pagdidrill ng well, and second naman is yung testing temperature underground. And next naman, so ganyan yung mga ideal location niya. So working process or dry steam power plant. Dry steam plants are the most common types of geothermal power plants, accounting for about half of the installed geothermal plants. They work by piping hot stream from underground reservoirs directly into turbines from geothermal reservoirs, which power the generators to provide electricity. After powering the turbines, the steam condenses into water and is piped back into the earth via the injection well. So ito yung figure niya para mas lalo natin siya maintindihan. So yung dry steam power plant, ang pinaproduce niya is hot steam from underground. So dito nanggagaling sa underground yung steam, then packet siya, papunta siya sa turbines, and then papunta siya sa generators, which is nag-generate ng electricity for our everyday use. So tandaan natin, ang dry steam power plant is nagpo-produce ng steam. Yan, katulad din ito na figure. Next naman would be ang working principles ang flash steam power plants. So flash steam power plants differ from dry steam because they pump hot water rather than steam directly to the surface. These flash steam plants pump hot water at a high temperature from below the earth into a flash tank on the surface. The flash tank is at a much lower temperature, causing the fluid to quickly flash into steam. The steam produced powers the turbines. The steam is cooled and condenses into water, where it is pumped back into the ground through the injection well. So ito yung figure. Ang pinagkaiba naman ng dry steam power plant sa flash steam power plant is hot water from underground yung napapump pataas, and then yung steam na to yung nagpa-power dito sa turbines and then sa generator. Unlike dun sa dry steam na steam kaagad yung nagpa-pump, dito hot water muna then steam. Yan, ito pa yung isa niyang figure. So, ito naman yung working principles ng binary cycle power plant. In this binary cycle plants, the main difference is that the water on the steam from below the earth never comes in direct contact with the turbines. Instead, water from geothermal reservoirs is pumped through a heat exchanger where it heats a second liquid like isobutene, which boils at a lower temperatures than water. The second liquid is heated into steam, which powers the turbines that drives the generator. The hot water from the earth is recycled into the earth through the injection well, and the second liquid is recycled through the turbine and back into the heat exchanger where it can be used again. So, ayun yung figure niya.
Ganun pala yun. Balik mo nga, discuss na sa dry. Umpisa mo ulit. Sa dry steam.
Wait lang.
Ikot na lang.
Wait lang. Ayan. Diyan?
Sa dry, dyan ako na yan. Sa dry steam nga po, generate power plant, it uses steam directly nga po. Which dry steam po is pure steam nga po, which is much lighter than. Puro pressure lang po ang dadaan po, which is directly naman na po dadaan sa turbine. Which is na efficient nga po, kasi puro steam lang, yun lang po ang dadaan. Flash mo. Next, sa flash. Yeah. Sa flash naman po is, andito naman, may mas komplikado naman na process using two liquids. Yung hot water nga po galing sa underground and yung isa pang second liquid na yung water naman po ulit. Ang problema, mas nagka-complex po sila ngayon na dati po sa umpisa, steam na kaagad. Sa second po, sa flash steam, hot water. Sabihin po nun, sa mga dry steam, sabihin po, mas mainit po yung tubig na po ron. Sa pangalawa po sa flash steam, di na po napakainit na steam na kaagad. Di ba? Gets ha? Hindi.
Sa binary.
Next, ayan. Sa binary, edi ganun nga din yun. Pakita na yan. Dito, ganun nga din yun. Yan. Ayun, may ganun din. Yun, parang hindi siya sa flash. Pero instead na tubig ang iinitin nung galing sa underground, isobutane naman na mas madaling uminit dahil lower heat capacity. So, using nga yun, yun ang mas magagamit doon. Yung yung tatlo po na yun, I have different use cases. Yung sa dry steam, ginagamit po yan sa mga places na may mga matataas na, sa may mga steam, sa mga geyser, di ba? Geyser na puro steam lang. Ay, di pala geyser tayo. Sa mga bulkan na puro hangin lang, ganun. Sa sa flash, di pagka wala pong, hindi po apakainit ng tubig. Dito rin po, ganun din po yun. Pero mas advanced naman po ito using isobutane instead na water na directly. Yun na. Diba? Mas na-improve natin yung discussion.
So, next naman po is itong construction cost. So, the initial cost of geothermal power plant construction is high, but operational costs will become relatively low. This means that even though geothermal energy becomes financially worthwhile in the end, the cost of the power plant construction may put geothermal energy out of the question. So, mahal siya yung construction niya, but yung magiging operational cost niya ay unti-unti ring bababa and hindi siya permanently na mahal, as in the long run ay mapapakinabangan naman siya.
Tsaka yung main resource na ginagamit naman po is hot water from volcanoes in tectonic plates. So, wala naman din cost na gagamitin. Yung planta lang kailangan.
Yung construction cost. So, ito naman po yung advantages niya. Some advantages of geothermal power include its sustainability and consistency. Geothermal energy is renewable, so it's both more environmentally friendly and susceptible to natural resource wars than fossil fuels are. Geothermal can consistently produce energy output 24/7, regardless of weather conditions or seasonal changes. So, mas sustainable siya and consistent, and especially renewable, and can produce 24/7, unlike nga sa solar energy na nakaka-gather ka lang ng energy tuwing there's sunlight. And any weather condition, nakapag-produce pa rin siya ng energy, unlike dun nga sa mga wind energy. So, ito naman yung disadvantages niya. So, the disadvantages of geothermal power are the geographic limitations and high costs associated with power plant construction. These need to be built over regions with underground reservoirs of hot steam and water. Though it's technically possible to engineer enhanced geothermal systems in unsuitable environments, it's highly impractical to do so. So EGS requires extensive space, planning, construction, government oversight, and capital, and can only be accomplished by federal or state government and corporations. So, summary ng pagiging ng mga disadvantages nga ng geothermal power plant is yung pili lang yung lugar na pwedeng pagtayuan ito. And pwedeng gawan din siya ng paraan, pero impractical masyado and masyado mahal yung construction cost niya.
Yeah, yun. So, recap natin yung advantage and disadvantages. Yung advantage niya is, true nga, renewable siya, sustainable consistency. Yun nga, ang ganda naman din niya. Parang mas maganda naman siya in the long term. Pero ang disadvantage niya naman niya uli is limited lang siya sa region niya, sa location, which is kaya mas magiging mahal siya dahil kailangan niya ng kailangan ng water or steam for it to be useful. So, to overcome this nga naman, kinagamitan ng enhanced geothermal systems, ang mahal na nga nung initial construction cost, dadagdagan pa ng mga something para lang sa unsuitable environment. So, para din siya lahat ng renewable resources na wind, solar, hydro, parang din ganun din siya na meron lang lugar siya at may time lang. Pero yan, yung time, wala na yung problema. Napalitan na lang ng cost. Thank you.
Hydroelectric power plant o hydropower. The working principles of the hydroelectric power plant is capture the energy of falling water to generate electricity. Ito nga yung nagge-generate siya ng electricity through capturing the energy from the falling water. A turbine converts the kinetic energy of falling water into mechanical energy. Then a cogenerator converts the mechanical energy from the turbine into electric energy. Yung turbine daw is kino-convert niya yung kinetic energy of falling water into mechanical energy. Din yung generator naman is kina-convert naman yung mechanical energy from the turbine into electric energy. This is the largest hydropower plant in the world. The top one is the Three Gorges Dam in China from Yangtze na may installed capacity ng 22,500 megawatts. Year of completion is 2008 into 2012. The next is the Itaipu Dam, the Paraguay, Brazil, in Parana River, na merong installed capacity na 14,000 megawatts. Year of completion is 1984 to 1991, 2003. The top 3 is the Silaudu. Sa part naman ulit ng China, the River of Hinsha, na may installed capacity na 13,860 megawatts. Year of completion is 2014. The top 4 is
yun nga po, yun. May mga river po. Tapos sa river po madalas po nagkakaroon ng hydropower plants dahil it uses nga po na flowing water and falling water to turn the turbines. Skip mo na yun. Masyado tayo magtatagal sa pagdidescribe ng table.
Ito naman yung from 6 to 10. Yan yung
sa China
6 to
yung
10 naman.
malalaking bansa.
Mga malalaking bansa. Next. Yung Magat Dam naman, ito yung pinaka-largest hydro facilities in Luzon. Yung Magat Dam na may 380 megawatts. Compare naman natin sa ibang country na mas angat sa ekonomiya compare sa atin na parang lubog tayo sa ekonomiya dito sa Pilipinas. Tapos yung a large rock filled dam in the island of Luzon of the Philippines. Yung dam naman is located along the Magat River, a major tributary of Cagayan River. The construction of dam started in 1975, was complete in 1982. Hydropower plant of Magat Dam. It is multi-purpose dam which is used primarily for irrigating about 85,000 hectares of agricultural lands, flood control, and power generation through the Magat Hydroelectric Power Plant. Yung itong daw Magat Dam is yung kinukanya daw ay tawag doon na. Sinusupply niya is 85,000 hectares. Yung note daw is yung Elijah Combined Cycle Power Plant and Suwal Power Station is the largest Philippines with generating capacity of 1,200 megawatts. Ito daw yung pinakamalaking power plant yung pinakamalaking power station sa Luzon is nag-generate ng 1,200 megawatts. Pag pinagsama-sama na naman natin yung sa Luzon, meron siyang total capacity na 14,348 megawatts. Sa buong Luzon yon na power stations. Tapos i-compare natin siya sa isang hydro power plant ng China na merong 22,500 megawatts. Napakalaking agwat. Buong Luzon dito sa atin, tapos doon isang hydropower
kalahati plant. Kalahati pa lang. Ito mo nga yung pinakamalaki sa atin na hydroelectric, 1-2 megawatts lang.
2 megawatts lang dito sa Luzon.
110 lang ng kailangan na kapasidad ng buong Luzon. At si Magat, ang onte. Andiyan yung Magat, di ba? Onte lang.
Next. Isa-isang pang slide, mas isang slide. Isa pa pala. Ayan. Ito yung figure ng paano siya nag-operates. This is the reserva. Tapos ito yung barrier yung concrete barrier na hinahadlangan niya ang daloy ng tubig. papuntang outflow galing sa reservoir. Tapos itong control gate na to, take note pala yung top 1 requirements ng isang hydropower plant is create a elevation. Ito yung tinatawag na elevation, yung pababa papuntang turbine. Ito yung pinaka-importanting requirements to create a energy. Tapos yung trash shaft niya control gate muna. Yung control gate, ino-open niya to para mag-generate ng energy. Pag nag-generate siya ng energy papuntang turbine. Tapos yung trash rack is kinukuha yung trash rack, it filters solid materials that possibly enter. Kasulad ng mga bato. Para hindi masira. Pag pumasok kasing bato dyan, maaaring masira yung turbine, magkasira-sira. Pinipigilan niya yung mga solid materials para hindi pumasok yung mga bato o yung mga tinatawag nating solid materials. Tapos itong spillway na to, may kasi dito may critical level of water. Pag mataas na masyadong tubig, binababa yung spillway papuntang outflow. Yung tubig papuntang outflow. Tapos paano naman mag-generate ng electricity is itong elevation nga daw na to, binubukas tong control gate papuntang turbine. Tapos yung turbine, umiikot kasi yun. Umiikot yun through, uikot papuntang generator. Tapos nag-generate siya ng energy na nakokonekta naman sa step-up transformer na papunta namang substations and papuntang substations and power utility, and papunta naman, the last is the consumers. This is the hydro plant constructions. The construction of dams is difficult and labor intensive. Paano natin masasabing difficult? Kasi ang paggawa ng dam is napakahirap. Hindi naman halos taon nang inaabot bago makagawa ng dam. Magkakaroon pa siya ng survey kung anong araw o buwan mas hina yung volume ng tubig. And labor intensive. Before construction begins, water is diverted or prevented from moving through the construction site. Ito nga yung ba't tinasabi nating labor intensive, mas gagastos pa lang sa pag-divert yung pagpapalipat ng tubig through construction site. After water is diverted, the foundation area is clean, excavated, and rock of sediments that will act as the foundation are prepared and deemed solid. This is done to ensure the rock or sediments won't chip or fail as a result of the load of the dam and reservoir. Hydropower plant construction. Support known as rock bolts may be used to strengthen the foundations above the dam. Rock bolts and netting may be used to prevent rock from falling on the dam. Forms are then built along the edge of the dam. Pebble is placed inside the concrete is pumped in. This is done in sections and concrete to poured bit by bit in block formations. Once enough of the dam is built, the reservoir is allowed to fill in a highly controlled manner. The dam is monitored during this process. Other structures that make the dam operational and then added.
Ganun nga. Nakakita naman kayo, di ba, sa ilog, di ba, pagka tawag doon, yung sinesementohan yung gilid. Nakita niyo naman yung ganun, di ba? Yung ganun ang ginagawa para sa dam. Inuunti per section. Naragyan ng bakal, tapos sementohan. Ganun ginagawa sa dam, pero mas malaki. So yun, naragyan ng tubig paunti-unti para hindi mabarag yung ginawang dam. Kasi lalagyan mo ng gagawin mo na turbina, gagawin mo yung mga spillway. Yan na. Next.
This is the hydropower plant dam design. May tatlong design ng dam. Pero ang pinaka-common yung solid gravity dam. And the arc dam and the buttress dam. This is the dam, magkakaibang design ng dam. Depende naman yan sa ilog kung ano yung dapat i-design sa tatlong ito. The solid gravity dam, arc dam, and buttress dam. Ito pa yung na dam design na mas common dito sa buong mundo. Ito yung common, pinaka-common. Hydropower plant working principle. The amount of electricity a hydropower plant produce depend on two factors. How far the water falls. The farther the water falls and the more power it has. Generally, is the distance that the water falls depend on the size of the dam. The higher the dam, the farther the water falls and the more power it has. Scientists would say that power of falling water is directly proportional to the distance in fall. In other words, water falling twice as far as twice as much energy. And the second is the amount of water falling. More water falling through the turbine will produce more power. The amount of power available depends on the amount of water flowing down the river. Bigger rivers have more flowing water that can produce more energy. Power is also directly proportional to the river flow. A river with twice the amount of flowing water as energy river can produce twice as much energy. Ayun nga yung dalawang working principle.
Ganun nga. Yun nga, pagka mas mataas yung height ng pagbabagsak ng tubig, edi mas malakas yung force na babagsak, mas madaming kinetic energy. Ay yung amount of water falling, edi kung mas marami din yung kinetic energy din yun, ganun din. Tsaka, isa pa, yung minimum height ng dam dapat na falling water, dapat 50 meters. At tsaka depende naman din yung kung gusto mo itaas pa. Yun lang.
Hydropower plant facts. Currently, the tallest dam in the world is the Uric Dam on the Baksh
Siguro.
River in Tajikistan.
Tajikistan.
In Tajikistan. Tajikistan. It is 984 feet, 300 meters tall. Over dam is 726.4 feet and 221.3 meters tall. Today, Hoover Dam is still ranked in the top 20 of the tallest dam in the world, but only the concrete, gravity, and arc categories. Yung tallest dam nga daw, yung tinatawag yung pinaka-tallest dam in the world is the Uric Dam. Tas yung Hoover Dam naman guys, still rank pa rin siya sa top 20 of the tallest dam in the world. Hydropower plant facts. In 1975, the failure of Banqiao Reservoir Dam. Banqiao, di ba? Banqiao. Banqiao Reservoir Dam. And the other dams is Henan Province, China. Caused more casualties than any other dam failure in history. The disaster killed an estimate 171,000 people, 11 million people lost their homes. In February 2017, heavy rainfall damaged Oroville dams. The emergency spillways, prompting the evacuations of more than 180,000 people living downstream along the Feather River and the relocations of the fish hatchery. Yung nga daw, Banqiao Reservoir Dam, nag-failure daw. Ito daw yung casualty in any other dam failure in history na nag-killed ng estimate 171,000 people. Tas maraming halos 11 million people yung nawalan ng mga tirahan. Ito yung naganap naman sa nung February 2017 is by heavy rainfall. And yung caused by heavy rainfall nga daw sa tindi ng pag-ulan. Kaya nag-collapse din yung Oroville dams. Hydropower plant, the Machu dam failure or morbid disaster in a dam-related food disaster which occurred on 11 August 1979. The Machu Dam is situated on the Machu River field, sending a wall of water through the town of Morbi. Now in the Morbi district of Gujarat in India. Estimate of the number of people killed were greatly ranging from 1,800 to 25,000 people. Ganito nga kadelikado kung paano mag-collapse yung isang dam. Maraming namamatay.
Kaya kailangan tilinuhan yung paggawa ng dam. And
Po.
tapos po tayo. Palakpakan. Thank you for staying with us to this discussion of geothermal power plants and hydroelectric power plants. This is me, the leader of the group, M.Gonzalez I.Centeno.
And the member, A.Tarucan.
And I'm A.AdorDionisio.
And I'm M.Gonzalez I.Centeno. Thank you for listening.
Thank you. Thank you for watching.
Thank you po.
Thank you. Bye.